Hey, David in Houston, Texas. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut plus 125 reading glasses for your new Rayban 2132 color 902L, which is the classic tortoise and the 55 eye size. So let's begin. I'm going to take your Rayban out of its original packaging, your Italian leather Rayban case, your Italian Rayban microfiber cleaning cloth, which was backwards, so I'm going to spin that around, set that down. This is how your frame comes to me, almost always with a crooked G15 sticker, but they also put a plastic sleeve on the temple so your temples do not rub together while shipping. Well, if they think it's a good idea to send it with one, well, guess what? I'm going to put a second one on there when I ship it to you so you'll have twice the protection. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take all that off. I'm going to pop out your original heavy glass G15 lenses. The weight of your frame has just dropped by 50%. That tortoise is pretty cool when you hold it up to the light, isn't it? Great, great color. Classic. Sound like Galifianakis. Classic. Okay, so I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli LE1000 patternless edger. Excuse me, my first year having allergies. The stylus has popped up and is tracing the shape of the left lens, and it's going to move over and trace the shape of the right. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy any frame from me and I will throw in free single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. Of course, this time you're getting the plus 125 reading glasses. I'm pulling up the shape of your lens. I'm going to type in one measurement. This is a polycarbonate lens that I'm cutting for a plastic frame. So let's go ahead and get things lined up. These are your plus 125 lenses. I'm going to take them out of the original packaging, and I need to put a dot on the center. I'm just lining it up so I find the optical center of the lens, which is this red dot here, which is exactly the geometric center of the lens. I'm going to place that on the blocker. Let me get your left lens ready. Same thing. I'm going to find the optical center, put some dots on there that you can't see, so I'm going to use my red pen to darken it. And what I need to do is put one of these blocks. This is what's going to hold it in place while it's cutting. So I'm going to put a double-sided sticker on here. I'm going to place this into my speedy blocker. Now, believe it or not, just like Post-it notes, 3M makes little sticky pads in the optical world. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the block. I'm going to pull away the tape to reveal the double-sided, or whatever, the other side. And what I've done is I've got an optical crosshair. I have a vertical meridian and a horizontal, and I've got this lined up so that red dot is going to be dead center in front of your eye. I'm going to do the same thing for the left eye now. Put a block on there, pull away the tape, and get everything lined up, and now that's blocked on there. So I'm going to take your first lens and put it into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I really don't know this machine well enough after cutting lenses on it 12 hours a day. But these calipers are going to come down and trace the shape of your right lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. It's tracing the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes. And then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the left. It is that lighter color wheel on the bottom. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your polycarbonate material. This wheel in the center is what's going to put the channel or the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door for the sound, but for now I just want you to see as your plus 125 reading lenses as they begin to touch down onto the cutting wheel. Now your lenses are polycarbonate. There's three main lens materials. It's glass, plastic, and polycarbonate. Although glass, for the most part, has gone by the way of the dinosaurs, except for sunglasses. In the optical world, it's just not safe should anything happen. If this cracks, you know, that slices your eye wide open if you get hit with a rock or a baseball, golf ball, or just anything, a branch. You're walking in the woods. I don't know how many woods you have in Houston, Texas, but nonetheless. But it is polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. If you notice, your lens is still completely flat. Now it's putting the safety bevel on there, or just the bevel, so it stays inside the frame. And polycarbonate cuts dry. You can see the water running in the background. Plastic and high index cut wet, but for now polycarb cuts dry, but there will be some water jets that kick in just a moment. to clear away any optical sawdust. But as I was saying before, polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. David, your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you now have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. And not only are they all that of the highest quality, it's also aspheric. A spherical lens means it's completely round. It's kind of, well, it bulges out of the frame. It gives you an ugly cosmetic feel. These are aspheric lenses, meaning that it's much, much flatter and will not protrude outside the frame. Because we know no matter how many, since I do my own lab work, I've known that no matter how beautiful a frame is, if your lenses are jacked up, you're just not going to wear it. So everyone out there in the optical world that sells online like myself, they start you with plastic lenses. And they charge you for that. And then if you want to pay the upgrade to polycarb, you can pay that. And if you want to upgrade to the aspheric lenses, you can pay that. That's their third tier lens. You get that for free with me when you buy the frame. The highest quality polycarbonate lenses right from the get-go. So what I did is, you still had some rough edges on your lens, so I used my hand stone, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction. But it's that friction that lets me smooth out those rough edges. Now, if you can see this little white powdery substance, it's called Schwarf. I'm going to, optical sawdust, if you will, I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape all that away, and I'm going to test to see if your lens fits, which, David, I'll be very skeptical if it does. The 55 has a deeper bevel, and I usually have to take it down a little bit more. I'm wearing the 52 eye size in the blue crystal today. This one is, oops, can't put my glasses on. Hang on, let me set that down so I can put mine on. Adjust the head strap on my GoPro. Okay, now we're back in business. But the 55 is a little bit deeper bevel than the 52, so I'll probably have to take it down more. Yeah, it's not snapping in. So I'm going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off your lens, because it's a little bit deeper than the 52 that I wear, which pops in every time. But the golden rule, you can always cut more off of a lens. You can never add it back on. So I program my machine from the beginning to cut a little bit large, and then I'll slowly take it down to size. I could force the lens in there, or I could use my glass beads, which is nothing more. These are polished glass beads, and something that's no more than a crock pot, if you will, just a heated pan. Yes, I'm wearing pink pants today. My wife bought these for me to wear to church on Easter, and I figured, hey, why wear them one day out of the year? So today I'm rocking the pink pants. Anybody wants to complain, send a letter to my wife. But good luck with that. I complain to her all the time, and it does nothing, I tell you. So yeah, now you can see the water jets kick in, washing away the debris. But of course, as soon as I take it out and I go to the handstone, I'm just going to put more debris on there. But you know, my little machine is trying. My little $30,000 machine, which I recommend everyone go out and get one. Put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut lenses at home. You won't need me anymore. Just like my wife. She doesn't need me either. We get along very well. I come home from work, I give her my paycheck, and then she sends me back to work. Isn't that a good relationship? At least it is for her. Man, she's got good lawyers. How did I let her talk me into that? Okay, so out it comes. I'm going to dry your lens off so it's not slippery where I drop it on live TV. Go back to my handstone, put a safety bevel on there, scrape that away. And of course, I didn't do it the first time around, which I love to do in every video, just so the clown, I call myself the clown, gets to enjoy something. I scrape all that Schwarf off that I scraped off your lens. I collect it neatly onto the counter, and then I wipe it onto the floor. And I say, kids, I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. If you want to make a mess like me, stay in school. So I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, which is closest to me. Then using my thumbs, I press down, it snaps in perfectly. So I'm going to take your left lens and begin the same thing. Flip this over to left, and then hit start. And just like the first time, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of your left lens. Again, starting with the concave side of the lens first, and then moving over to the convex side. Once that is done, I'm going to continue to work. Once the left lens starts to cut, I'm going to work on the right lens a little bit more. Remind me to get something more comfortable than a GoPro camera that I wear on my head. Today it's just bothering me. Don't know why. Don't know why. It's just one of those things. So how did your Texans do in the NFL draft? They pick up some good selections, hopefully. You know, a couple years ago, I'm in Durham, North Carolina. By the way, it is 7:49, Wednesday, May 14th, 88 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. But you guys picked Mario Williams out of NC State, just 15 miles away. We used a first-round pick on him. Man, he was a beast coming out of college, wasn't he? Hopefully you guys got someone like him now. So, I'm going to take this block off. It is no longer needed. Pull the sticker away. That is no longer needed. Dry your lens off there. You notice you can still see your lens is flat around the edge like a nickel. If I were to take it out, it would stand up on its own, but not anymore. It's putting a knife-like edge on there now with that bevel. Of course, true, it's a very dull knife like me, but this lens should be sharp enough to cut through a piece of wet tissue if you press really hard. That's how sharp I'm going to make it. Of course, I'm going to dull it as soon as I get over there, but hey, you know. There's the water jets kicking in. Isn't it just like a water park? Aren't you just having lots of fun now, David? Imagine me, I stand over this machine all day long. Well, that's not true. I hit a button and run out on the sales floor and help patients. And as soon as I sell one, I come back here and I start cutting it. You know, 95% or more of optical shops don't cut their own lenses anymore, because you have to have a trained optician like me, and who wants to pay those amounts? I am licensed in North Carolina. My license number is 1960. I go by the name Secret Agent 1960, just because 007 was taken. So I'll go with 1960. So I'm going to dry your lens off. Back to my handstone. Back to the safety bevel. Back to using my thumbnail to scrape that off the edge of your lens. This time I'm going to collect it all just for something different. How about a little behind the back technique? Woo! Kids, stay in school. How many times I got to tell you? Alright, so I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first, closest to me. Then I'm going to use my thumbs and press down at the nose. It snaps in perfectly. So I'm going to take this block off. Pull that off. Pull that sticker off. I do want to measure the distance between those two red dots. We are good to go there. I'm going to use my optical grade acetone to clean the red dots off of your lenses. Whoa. And one more thing I want to do before I ship it to you is I want to get your frame in standard alignment, which is also known as a 3-point stance, since we were just talking about football. The 3 points of your frame are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I put it on the counter and I push down, a little bit of a wobble, so I'm going to adjust that temple, place it down again. There is no wobble where on mine, and I'm not alone. 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I take mine off, mine wobble on the counter. Put mine back on now. So I'm going to flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. Make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly and the same amount of tension on each temple. Now again, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments, so if these are too loose or too tight, or if they're high on one side, just stop by your local optical shop. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust your glasses. How's that for effect? You can see the magnification of the print in the background through your +125 lenses. But if anyone has any questions about what I can and can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, or just simply click the Contact Me button on the website. And David in Houston, I hope you enjoyed watching your glasses being made, and everyone else out there got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.